Welcome to the Southwestern Career Academy in our presentation on our Practical Restart Building Protocols presentation. First, want to welcome everybody back to the Career Academy. I'm so excited to have everybody back. This is Mr. Marion, the principal of the Career Academy, and today we're going to review our protocols for a safe and healthy return. It's been a long time since we've seen our programs and our labs running. Specifically since March 16th. And I can't tell you how excited I am to have our students back, to see our students, and to see our programs running again. So please pay close attention to the presentation as we go through it. We're going to give you some very important information as to how we can restart our building in a safe and healthy way. I first want to talk about what we need to do before we come to school and a daily routine that students should have. Prior to school, students should consider the following aspects. First, ask themselves if they've had close contact with anyone in the last 14 days who has tested positive for COVID-19. Close contact is defined by being within 6 feet of someone for at least 15 minutes. The other thing to think about is if a health department or a primary care physician has been in contact with you and advised you to quarantine. If you answer yes to any of that, you do not come to school, and you should also contact the school so we're aware of that. Second, every morning, students should take their temperature. If their temperature is 100.4 degrees or higher, students should stay home from school and inform the attendance office here at the Career Academy. This is an important piece each day. If students don't take their temperature each day, it can delay the start of their day each morning. So it's important that they're able to answer this question each day. Thirdly, if students exhibit any of the symptoms that we see on the right side of this slide. If any of the following symptoms are seen, students should stay home that day, which would include a fever of 100.4 or higher, a new or worsening cough, loss of taste or smell, a sore throat, nasal congestion, or a runny nose. If any of those are exhibited individually, students should stay home from school. If any two or more of the following are exhibited, students should stay home. So any combination of a headache, body aches, new or worsening fatigue, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, students should stay home from school. I do want to include in there that this excludes symptoms that have been diagnosed to an alternate diagnosis. Clinical judgment should always guide your testing practices and should always guide. A medical professional should always guide what the diagnosis would be. Lastly, if you have tested positive for COVID-19, students should stay home from school and inform the school. First period teachers will be going through this checklist each morning, and based on the response, students may need to return home.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ms. Bucheri. I'm the assistant principal here at the Career Academy. My discussion right now is about face coverings. I'll be jumping in here and there as well to help Mr. Marion with some other topics. So regarding face coverings, per the Southwestern City School District's Responsible Restart Plan, face coverings are required for anyone in our building and anyone using school transportation. Staff and students are to wear them at all times, unless obviously they are at lunch eating or drinking. Failure to do so is a safety issue and will be addressed by staff initially and then potentially referred to administration if it's an ongoing issue. At that point, we would certainly have a conversation with the student about the necessity of safety and making apparent contact along those lines as well. And as you can see here, just a reminder, students will be able to remove those masks while actively eating during their lunch session.
Social distancing. This is an important piece of providing a safe and healthy environment. We ask that all people in the Career Academy engage in social distancing throughout the entire building. You will see these stickers on the floor in areas where lines may form, and they are distanced 6 feet apart. Again, our classrooms are set up to maximize social distancing between people. So we ask that every student practice this throughout the day.
In terms of what does arrival look like at the Southwestern Career Academy, the doors to the academy open at 7:30. Students at that time are to wait in the cafeteria and in our commons area, which is that main entrance lobby. While they're waiting, they obviously need to maintain social distancing. At 7:40, our locker bell rings and students can move to their first period class. They are asked to go directly to first period. They can stop by their locker and drop off any necessary items. Students are not able to congregate or stand in the halls throughout the day. That also includes this time before school, just based on necessity with social distancing and being safe. At 7:50, we have what we call our warning bell. So if you're in the building or you're just arriving at that time, that's kind of the bell that gives you a heads up. Hey, I need to make sure I get to first period. And then 7:55, first period begins each day.
Something new here at the Career Academy is we will be allowing backpacks this year. SWCA students are encouraged to use a backpack for safe transportation of their electronic devices, any textbooks they may have, or any student school materials. Backpacks must be appropriately sized for the Career Academy, and everything in them must be appropriate for school. Administration does have the final decision regarding appropriate size of a backpack. Again, students may access their lockers after the 7:40 a.m. bell rings and prior to the start of the 7:55 a.m. class. Again, students may access their lockers upon dismissal also. We do ask that students avoid their locker as much as possible during the day.
Regarding our hallways, this year we do have one-way hallways during class changes or transition times. Students and staff are to walk on the right side of the hallway. We kind of liken this to thinking about driving on a road. We're going to move to the right. There are one-way hallway arrows on the floor to remind you. And as anywhere in our building, you are asked to maintain social distancing, which Mr. Marion talked about previously, 6 feet between you and the next person.
Restrooms. Only one student can have a restroom pass at a time in class, regardless of gender. No more than 3 people in a single restroom at a time. This goes throughout the day. There will be no more than 3 people in a up to promote social distancing throughout the building. One of the most important pieces here with the restrooms is that students wash their hands thoroughly upon returning to class. So we ask that every student practice good hygiene and wash their hands for a minimum of 20 seconds with soap and warm water prior to going to class. In each classroom, there's also hand sanitizer that students will be able to use. To go to the restroom, students must have a hard copy written pass from his or her teacher to access the restroom.
Stairwells here at the Career Academy have been assigned an up and down direction. Please be sure to follow the signs for instructions. They are marked in each stairwell to tell you which side is up and which side is down. Again, you are reminded to continue practicing social distancing, 6 feet between you and the next person.
Water bottles and refill stations. This year, we are encouraging students to bring a refillable water bottle to school and avoid using the common water fountains. Water bottle refill stations are on each floor. During class, students again will need a hard copy pass from a teacher to use the restroom or to refill a water bottle. Students do have access to water fountains throughout the day. And again, are asked to practice social distancing while using any water fountain or water bottle refilling station. Again, that would be 6 feet between you and the next person.
Our lunch protocol here at the Career Academy is different than years past. This obviously is not necessarily new for juniors because that's your first year here in our building, but for seniors, it's different based on the need for social distancing. So our lunch protocol, when you have your lunch period, students are to report to the cafeteria and seat be seated immediately. You'll see where there are 3 spaces marked at each table for students to have a seat. That is the maximum any students can sit at any one table, or 3. Students will be dismissed table by table to go through the line once we get the bell for the lunch period to begin. When your table is dismissed to go through the cafeteria line, there are 2 lines for our lunch line. The entry points will be staggered. That will be monitored by building administration and our cafeteria and hall monitors. Students are to wear a mask unless they are actively eating or drinking. They are to practice social distancing throughout the cafeteria. Again, that's 6 feet between you and the next person. So whether you're in line, you're seated at your table, or you're going to the restroom. After our first couple of weeks of our blended learning model, a seating chart will be made noting where a student has chosen to sit. Again, we are not assigning these to you. This is where you and your friends can kind of choose which table you want to sit at. We'll give you a couple of weeks to make that decision. And then following that, we will need to make a seating chart. This is a requirement. And as noted on the slide, the purpose behind this is for contact tracing if we need to identify who is seated near you. So we'll make that after a couple of weeks. And similar to our classroom policy, students must have a hard copy restroom pass during their lunchroom to visit the restroom. Again, those will be provided by either our monitors or administration.
Our office and clinic pass protocols. For any non-emergency situations, students must have already scheduled an appointment with the appropriate person. Students would show his or her teacher email confirmation of the scheduled appointment and get the pass issued to them. Again, during blended learning, students are asked to schedule such appointments to occur virtually, so we can still do meet through Google Meet and other types of resources that we may have. If a student has an emergency situation, the staff will call the appropriate person to meet the student in the hallway and escort them down to the office. Again, any student that may be exhibiting signs of COVID or symptoms of COVID should report to the clinic and report that to the appropriate person.
And then our dismissal procedure here at Southwestern Career Academy is also different this year. During our blended learning model, our 8th period, which is our last period of the day, will have a staggered dismissal schedule. This is to allow for social distancing for exiting. On Mondays and Wednesdays each day at 2:59, student drivers and those students who are being picked up by their parent or guardians will be dismissed from the building. At 3:02 is when the final dismissal bell will ring, and those are any of our bus riding students will be dismissed. That's on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Tuesdays and Fridays, we have an additional stagger, and this is for our pre-order lunch pickup students. So at 2:55 on Tuesdays and Fridays, the dismissal for our pre-order lunch pickup students will occur. This is regardless of if you drive yourself, your parent guardian pickup, or you ride the bus. At 2:55, pre-order lunch will be dismissed. Again, you have to pre-order those to-go lunches and breakfasts. At 2:59, our student drivers, parent guardian pickup students who are not picking up their to-go breakfast lunch will be dismissed. And then at 3:02, our bus riding students with no lunch pickup will be dismissed. So we're having our stagger for our 8th period dismissal. Again, the purpose behind this is to allow for social distancing. We appreciate your cooperation with this, and we certainly appreciate your assistance with all of this.
By following these protocols, we believe that we will be able to provide a safe and healthy environment for all our students to thrive and grow. It is important for us to create the safest environment for our students to re-enter into our building. We believe that following the attributes of success, work ethic, character, and accountability, we will be able to help our students prepare to own their future. It is important for us that all students are communicated with well, and that there is an open line of communication between both us and families. For more information regarding the Southwestern City School District Responsible Restart Plan, please visit the website included in this slide. You can also refer to our building website for program-specific protocols that can be found on the COVID information tab of the SWCA website. We will do most communication through the website and send either an email or a text message for families to check the website with new and updated information. Please reach out to us with any questions you may have, and you can reach us at the phone number at 614-801-3400 or access our emails on our building website. Thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you and open up a great year.